Hey guys, welcome back to the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington, bringing you guys my pull week video for the week of October 30th. I'm guessing you guys can hear my washing machine, so I'll just talk a bit louder. Got 6 books this week to review. All were pretty good to excellent. None of them I was like, tired of reading, but I guess I'll just get started. So the first one, and as always, I review my books from least liked to pick of the week, and like I said, I liked everything, so nothing is bad. And timestamps will be down below to skip to different reviews. So anyways, first book, Deadpool Kills Deadpool, issue number 4. Really cool cover, really dig that cover. And this issue was probably the best issue since issue 1. I remember really liking issue 1, and then the next 2 issues were really flat. And but this issue kind of picked it up, and it wasn't, actually, by the end of this, it was really good. Like, the ending of this, the way that the 616 Deadpool then comes back, and that he has his final face-off with the Deadpool that's killing all the other Deadpools, and the realization between both of those two Deadpools is really well written, really interesting. Everything played out very nicely, and then but then we get set up for yet a 4th Deadpool miniseries called Night of the Living Deadpools, and at this point I'm just like, because I'm going to pick it up, of course, but at this point I'm just thinking that they should just make it a new Deadpool ongoing, because this one's the third mini, and the mini-series have been going back for, this is the third mini of 2 of 4-issue minis, and it's the third one. This, been going on for a year now, so, and it's continuing. So it's been going on as long as Marvel Now has been around. So they should just make it like Deadpool Max. That's my opinion on it, because it's just continuing. I thought it was going to end with this, but apparently it's not. We get some setup at the end with a character that shows up in this, and it showed up in other Deadpool continuity, and I'm gonna read it. Hopefully it's better than this one was, because as a whole, Deadpool Kills Deadpool was the worst of the trilogy. I don't know if this is a new, with Night of the Living Deadpools, if that's a new trilogy, or maybe this will be like the Deadpool saga, the Killa saga. I don't know. But this issue on its own was very refreshing to read. Next book, we got the Superior Spider-Man issue number 20. Now, I really dig the cover, and I really dig the art inside by Kemen Coley. I dig the art a lot inside, actually. But I love the cover, but the Black Cat is barely in this book, and she's in it, and it makes me mad because yet again Doc Ock is ruining ties between Spider-Man and Peter Parker and his friends or allies or people he's associated with, and he does that actually a lot throughout this book. Pretty much ruins Peter Parker's reputation in the scientific community, which sucks. And he also kind of screws over Aunt May and her husband, which his name is Jay, I think. I forget his name because he's not been a prominent character in the stories that I've read. But yeah, it kind of ruins the he's kind of screws them over with his ruining of his, scientific reputation. In turn, is also screwing them over. And then also we get Mary Jane kind of, pursuing the firefighter that saved her club and things like that. So, that kind of relationship is coming to a close. But, and I hate to say this is the upside, but it's definitely the upside of the book, is that Carly is now, taking steps into exposing this new Spider-Man and things like that. And I want to see more of that happening. And also we get some backstory with another character that's going to seek vengeance on Spider-Man and things like that. But the good parts in this were, it was well written, all the stuff that Doc Ock does to kill Peter's reputation. It's all well written. It's a good story. I just hate it because, again, my favorite character, and when he comes back to life, everything's going to be screwed over. But this issue was pretty good. Now, next book, I was not expecting to like as much as I did. And for a while, this was my favorite book until, then I read the last 3 books. But this book was fantastic. And, it makes me want to actually pick this book up. This was the Halloween edition free book of Batman Little Gotham. First of all, the cover is awesome. And I wouldn't like the artwork in the regular Batman books, like Batman or Detective Comics or anything like that. But when you have the title as Little Gotham, the art, I really love the art, actually. And if you're not familiar with the art style, it looks like that and like that. And there's 2 stories in here. There's a Halloween story, and then there's actually a Thanksgiving story. The Halloween story is pretty much Batman and Robin are talking about how the bat signal stays on like the whole day, because you got people dressing up as, you got people dressing up, and then you got people committing crimes in costume, or then you actually have the actual, main villains being those people. And so, they're on patrol the entire day, really. And Damian Robin, he's never actually celebrated Halloween before because he's always been Robin. And so Batman kind of teaches him what Halloween is, really. And it's funny, Robin actually attacks a group of kids that are dressed as like the Joker and Two-Face and stuff like that, which is funny. And Batman tries to teach Robin what trick-or-treating is. And at this one point, and I'll kind of spoil this, at one point, the villains, the Joker, Bane, Penguin, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, everybody, all the Jokers, all the villains, they're all actually together at a restaurant, and they say that Halloween is the only night that they can actually enjoy a meal in peace, because everybody's dressed up, so nobody suspects them as being the people that they really are. And it happens to be that Batman and Robin walk into the same restaurant, and they're all kind of like holding their breath, because here's Batman and they're all together, and then Batman looks at them and he's kind of just like, nice costumes, and then he leaves. And then outside, Batman had already called the police and was like, yeah, they're in there. Oh, he actually pays for their meal too. But he's like, he tells the police, yeah, they're in there. Just let them eat their meal first, and then you guys can apprehend them. So I thought that was nice, and it's weird to see. It kind of shows that Batman really cares about his villains in a way, and that kind of shows how crazy Batman is, and that he's pretty much equally as crazy as his villains, just doesn't, do their same actions, which is really cool to see. And then the second story was a Thanksgiving parade story, and kind of the Penguin um, leading a march of turkeys, because the turkey, like the penguin, is a flightless bird, and people shouldn't be eating turkey on Thanksgiving and things like that. And so he kind of ruins the Thanksgiving parade, and just this whole thing with a Batman balloon float and a Robin balloon float, and it's funny. And this was just a really good book. It's an all ages book. It's amusing for adults, and it'd be definitely amusing for kids. So if you have kids, I definitely recommend picking this up. And if you just were like, oh, my pool is short this week, and I want something light, I'd suggest giving an issue a try, because I thought it was actually really good. And then, half done, get to the second half. Swamp Thing Annual number 2. This is an awesome cover, first of all. And this whole book, thick book, and there's a lot in it. Pretty much Swamp Thing learning the ropes of how to, be the avatar for the Green, and he's being taught by all these different avatars, and we get a lot of history of the Green and the avatar, so it's a good starting point if you don't know much about Swamp Thing. It's a good way to learn about Swamp Thing. But by the end of this, we get great art, and we get all this great story, just Swamp Thing being taught things, and, kind of resisting because he wants to stick to his humanity. And we get a bunch of different Swamp Things and avatars, and all this. The art is fantastic, like I said. But at the end of this, we get something really cool that I think you gotta know some things about Swamp Thing. You don't have to be an expert. You just have to know a little bit about Swamp Thing. Like, this is the only Swamp Thing book I've ever read, and I still understood it just because I know a little bit more. And if you know a little bit more, I don't want to ruin it, as you can see, but you'll definitely love the ending of this. And this book was just amazing. It was really good. It was awesome. I don't have much more to say about it, because there's a lot to say, and just a lot of lessons that he learns, and just the writing in it was fantastic. Charles Soule, amazing. Javier Pina, not Pina, but Pina, amazing artist, and the cover by Travel Foreman was fantastic. Next book was definitely surprising how good it really was. I knew it would be good, but it was even better, that's always a plus side. This was Scarlet Spider issue number 23. Man, whenever Kraven's in a story, that story's going to be fantastic. There's so much. Kraven is like, he's got this death wish that only Kane can fulfill, because Kane's blood is the blood that, resurrected him and brought him out of his peace that he was in. And so pretty much what he's done is he's kidnapped all of Kane's friends, and if Kane doesn't kill him, he'll kill Kane's friends, the supporting cast of this book. And by the end of this, one of Kane's friends does get put into a bad situation, and Kane has to kind of resolve the situation, and then something happens to Kraven, and then it's just the book. I don't want to ruin it for anybody that's reading this, but man, this arc has been so good, starting with the whole Ben Reilly thing, and then just leading up to now, and then how this ends leading to the next issue. Just, oh man, everything is just moving so fast, and it sucks that it's ending in 2 issues. Damn, this book was good. I thought when I read my books, I read them in the way that I think I'm going to like them the most. So I actually had this. I read this before I read Swamp Thing, and I ended up liking this one a bit more than Swamp Thing. There was 2 books that surprised me this week, and that was Scarlet Spider, and that was Little Gotham, Batman Little Gotham, and Deadpool kills Deadpool a little bit as well, but not as much as those 2. But this one was wow, and the cover is crazy by Ryan Stegman. But this book I knew would be my pick of the week, and it actually just was better than I thought it would be as well. And it's over now, so I mean, this was only a two issue mini. Told a great story by Mark Guggenheim. Wrote this, and this was The Trial of the Punisher, with so many great covers this week. This is a book I did not expect to really like too much when I got the first issue, because I'm not a huge Punisher fan, but it was the trial aspect of it that I was like, oh, I want to see that, and so it did not disappoint. Now I actually want to read Punisher. This made me a fan of Punisher, not a super fan, but definitely made me interested. The whole trial aspect, the things that happened in this book were so crazy. We do get Matt Murdock and Daredevil in this book, which was awesome. But the way they use him, I wasn't even expecting it, and the way things were going about in the first issue, I didn't even expect Matt Murdock to be in this. I thought they were gonna keep it strictly on the Punisher and his lawyer that he has, and just the way things were set up, and we get reasons why, and it makes so much sense why the Punisher didn't have Matt Murdock be his attorney, because of what he wanted to do, and just so many things are answered in this issue. It follows up so well. I recommend you guys have a light week or anything like that, pick up the 2 issues of this. They're well worth it. It's $3.99, but again, if you have a light week or if you have some extra change or whatever, pick up the Trial of the Punisher issue number 1 and 2, because it was fantastic. Did not disappoint in the least. Exceeded all expectations I had, and then some. And wow, this book and the art inside, everything about this book was just amazing. That's it. Long reviews, had a couple more books than I usually have, so long video. Again, timestamps are below if you haven't utilized them yet and you wanted to. Don't know what to say. Yeah, so that's really it, guys. I'll be watching you guys' videos. Yeah, so I'm Wellington, signing off for the Comic Lowdown, and I'll see you guys next time.